Alright, let's start this job interview. Hello, what is your name? Hey, my name is Chris. I'm 20 years old. My IC number is 5205. Whoa, slow down. I never asked for your IC number. Isn't this a job interview? This is a Roblox job interview, not a regular one. Giving away personal information on Roblox. That's the video you're watching, unless I changed it. Man, are you serious? I didn't get the job. So now, here's the story and the main reason why I made this video in the first place. There was this post that I encountered on Reddit today that detailed an incident where a young user on Roblox inadvertently shared personal information, such as their real name and location during Obby Creator. This Roblox game where you make Roblox obbies. Basically, it was just a normal conversation between these two people, something that happens millions of times in everyday life, until this kid asked, "Where do you live?" The Reddit user basically replied, and the young kid was just ecstatic, talking about them wanting to meet up and stuff. It sounds super cute, honestly, until he starts spazzing out and giving all of his information to the Reddit user, which is his country, his name, his age, birthday, address, even the school that he goes to. Literally, if someone was in that Obby Creator server, he could have known all the basic details about him already. And I'm not too sure, but I don't think that this was in private chat, where it's just people private messaging one another. I think this was in the public chat, where there were other people in the server with him. It's free real estate. Of course, the creator of this Reddit post never shared any of his actual details, but this post kind of served as a wake-up call for me. How many cases like this happen every single day? There's millions of Roblox players playing multiple games every single day, millions of experiences, and how many phone numbers, real names, ages are exchanged every single day in public servers? And I thought about my own experiences with this, and I was like, yeah, this probably happens a lot. I have two stories that I want to share with you, and this is based off my personal experiences. Thankfully, as a kid, I was never stupid enough to share my own personal data, but I was about to at one point. This was in Meepcity, back when Meepcity was still cool. This was 2016, I think, very late 2016, around December-ish. So I was just talking around, making friends with random strangers in Meepcity. This was one of the first times playing Roblox ever, and so everything is new to me. I was chilling in the main city square, talking up random strangers, and I encountered a seemingly friendly player named Olivia. I remembered it was a she, but I have completely forgotten the name of her account. It was Olivia-something, and she had this cool Meep companion thing at the time, and genuinely I was pretty excited talking to her. We started chatting about Meepcity, how cool Roblox was. I think she joined around the same time as I did. This was like within the first 2 to 3 months of me creating my account. As the conversation progressed, Olivia seemed genuinely interested in my real life. She's just asking innocent questions about hobbies, favorite subjects in school, where I'm from. So of course, you know, being the kid I was, to make a new friend, I was just answering questions without giving it much thought. However, as the conversation continued, my instincts started to kick in halfway. Like, even with my kid brain, I realized that I had shared way too much personal information than what I was comfortable with. I knew that I was doing something wrong right now. So, of course, sensing the potential danger, I told her I needed to take a break and go to the washroom or something like that. Some dumb excuse. Although, what I was really doing in real life was just putting my iPad on the table and thinking about what I just said on the couch. I was genuinely anxious, like as if I had given out way too much. He's about to find out where I live. He's gonna come over to my front door. I'm actually getting kidnapped tonight. It was information that wasn't too detailed. Like, if I show you the messages, I don't think you could have found out my identity or my location, but it was getting there. It was getting to that point. And I think if I had continued that conversation for another 30 more minutes, we would get to there. And I knew that I had to stop. So in a moment of clarity, I quickly realized the potential risk of sharing personal information with Olivia, a stranger that I had just met maybe like an hour ago. And so what did I actually do? Honestly, I'm kind of proud at my kid self for doing this. I just left the game abruptly, unfriended her, and just never thought about her ever again. Until I started writing the script for this video. Now, I don't think that situation was anything too serious. It was most likely just another little girl behind the scene, as I was at the time, that was just making connections in Roblox. I don't think she was a pedo or anything malicious like that. This was also back in 2016, where there weren't many pedo cases in Roblox. There wasn't this hypersensitivity to the dangers of Roblox at the time. I wasn't even aware of the Mr. Obvious case. And I think there were no no problems with that incident because it's been 8 years since and I am still fine. I haven't been attacked or anything like that. And generally after that, I was still pretty lax about dropping personal information on Roblox. Like, come on, it's Roblox. 99% of the time, people that are playing are just little kids. Nobody's going to care at all. But there's this second story that I'm gonna tell that happened for about 4 years later that completely changed my mind on this situation. It was a pretty big issue. I'm just chilling with a bunch of friends on a Discord call. We were just chopping it up. And then the topic of doxing came up. And now, I was basically just dismissive of it. Like, so what if people leak my information, right? Like, so why people do this stuff? It's not too big of a deal. No one's gonna get run on by a Fed or anything. But to my surprise, one of my friends just nonchalantly drops a link into the Discord chat that led me to a 100-page document containing a list of Roblox players with their sensitive information, ranging from like normal stuff and usernames, avatars, to more sensitive details like email addresses and locations, all piled up very nicely into like a Word document. And apparently the proof of these details were just screenshots of what people say in chat, people's face reviews and stuff like that. For me, it was definitely a bit discomforting. Like, hey yo, this might be actually be bad. Bro, why do you have this on your computer? What? And apparently this document has exchanged hands a lot of times, filled with hundreds of Roblox users with their sensitive information. It was apparently this public document that was just getting thrown around from server to server. And most of the time, the leaks happen because these Roblox users just leak their own personal information. Like, for example, just sending in their face review to a friend they trust on Discord, and then that friend gets on the document and gets shared around. Or just kids just putting the name of their school casually into the chat, and that just gets screenshotted and just put onto this document. So right now I was realizing the potential magnitude of the situation. It was so random too. I almost forgot about it. Like, we were just talking about doxing and boom, that file just pops up out of nowhere. I don't know if I'm actually just self-snitching right now and I could actually get banned for this, but it was just such a small piece out of that 3-hour conversation and just came and went in like 5 minutes. Oh, look at this really cool file. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Boom, next topic. The whole thing just lasted 5 minutes. The talk of the document just passed. I've never thought too much about it for the past 4 years until today, but it's so crazy to me to see how something like this could just be flowing around in the internet for everybody to see. There's also another aspect that I want to talk about, which is Roblox in this situation. Roblox has always been in heavy threat from parents, from the media, based on why Roblox is not safe for children. And definitely they have tried their hardest to make sure Roblox is a safe platform for everybody, but most of the time they fail at it. The reason why the Roblox chat is so bad is because of this. I don't know how many of you guys remember this, but back in 2017, when they were getting heat from the media, they changed up their system where if players were under 13, they couldn't say numbers at all. Like, you couldn't say 1, you couldn't say 2, you couldn't say 3. This was to prevent phone numbers from exchanging, but it was so bad because like regular people who didn't even want to talk about phone numbers at all still got their phone numbers leaked. This is such a habit for me now. I don't say numbers on the Roblox chat. This is such a product of that era. I have a 13 plus account. I still say it, but I have this PTSD feeling, oh, it's gonna get censored. That habit came from that era because I could never talk about numbers. They would just never go through. So they have tried their best to try and limit the spread of personal information between other people, but most of the time the solutions always have collateral damage like this. There's also another aspect I want to talk about, but this only affects a handful of players, and unlike all the other situations where mostly it's people leaking their information out of their own volition, these people got their stuff leaked due to data breaches. These people are just so unlucky, man. I'm gonna give you guys a few examples. The people who went to RDC. A few months ago, I think this was around July 2023, there was a Roblox data leak for the attendance of RDC, or the Roblox Developers Conference, if you're not familiar. Green Lego Cats made a whole video on this situation, and I just want to paraphrase. Basically, the attendance of RDC, which are usually developers, YouTubers, just famous people in Roblox, they had their data leaked. Their phone numbers, IP addresses got leaked. You know, sensitive information that you have to give to Roblox to sign up for RDC, those things got leaked. And this resulted in a bunch of nasty situations involving quite a number of people. Star Marine 614, the creator of Skate Park, love that game by the way, it's so chill. He got into a situation where someone called him and asked for the dominance that he had on his account. Of course, Star Marine said no, and this dude called up Star Marine's local police department and framed Star Marine, saying that he killed his family and gave his address and name as proof. This is insane stuff. But of course, that situation never went to anything super serious. Star Marine has worked in the local police department and the whole situation is just smoothed over. For Sai was just another Roblox developer that got hit with this. He also has a crazy Roblox toy collection too. Bro, why does he have so many toys? Apparently someone used his phone number from the leak, called him, and asked if he could buy his red domino crown off of him. And these are public stories. Of those few thousand that went to RDC, there are definitely way more cases where stuff happened to them, but they just dealt with it in private and never shared it with anyone. When you go over to the Roblox account and click on settings, you can typically see very sensitive information about your account that's on Roblox's hands, and that could be leaked at any given moment. For people that value your accounts, there are probably emails and phone numbers attached, authentications, whatever, especially if you verify for voice chat. But don't worry, these are just fringe cases. There are millions of Roblox players, and these breaches typically only affect about only a couple thousand. And there isn't anything you can do about these leaks, but I think 99% of the time when Roblox gets a data leaked, you won't be doxxed. Green Level Cats' video goes more into depth about this. There have been Roblox breaches throughout the years on normal accounts that they never really acknowledged. You can go watch the video if you want to, if you want more details about this. These can happen at random, but the chances of you getting hit by any of these data leaks are usually so low. I'm thinking 0.01%. So even if you don't do anything with your account, even if you password protected and everything, there is still chances that your personal information might get leaked without any fault of your own doing. But that's just the internet, bro. You just have to deal with it. But the difference between these two cases where your personal information gets leaked through Roblox is one thing. In one case, a person gives out that information directly, while another is due to a leak that you just can't do anything about. For the first case, the information is not due to some fancy hack or cookie logging or anything like that. All this information came from people that typed it out and sent it by themselves into chat, either in Roblox or in other forums like Discord, and this is a huge issue. And now, most of the older people watching this video probably already know the solution. Just don't share information online, right? It's not so simple, because there is one variable that most people don't consider, which is trust. For me personally, I would never give a random stranger on Roblox my password, even if he begged for it. But what about a friend that I have known for a very long time? If you're a bit older, you definitely have long-running relationships that have spanned several years. You guys have memories with one another, and when they ask for your account, would you really refuse? That's the gray area here. If I'm addressing the first issue, there is a very big population of kids on Roblox that don't understand the dynamics of online safety and stuff like that. They probably were given a class or two on online safety in school, but they probably just didn't pay attention, and I don't blame them. Their threshold of trust with their personal information is much lower. Some people's threshold may be friends that I have known for 6 years, while their threshold for the kids probably is someone that I play Flirt Escape 2 with maybe 3 to 4 times a week. They met each other like 2 months ago. They don't know who they are in real life, but they're completely fine with giving their personal information out, you know, just because they asked for it, right? I know that some people will think that this doesn't happen that much, but considering that Reddit post happened just today, I don't think it's far-fetched to say situations happen like this every single day, probably thousands of times. And this is probably where accounts get compromised so much. Not due to some fancy hack, but due to something that could have been 100% avoidable. But there's another section of Roblox players that are slightly older, but their personal information gets leaked by other means. Like for example, confessing to a friend they have known for years, their real name, their location, their face, and their Roblox account's password, you know, sharing accounts and stuff like that. And not usually sharing alt accounts, sharing their main accounts. The threshold is much higher. The risk of them getting that data leak simply goes from maybe 60% to 5 to 10%, which is a step up, but for me personally, that's still way too much. Personally, I would never give out information to people, because you just never know. That's risk management 101. And I admit, I have been in friend groups where I have given out sensitive information, but I have this policy of only reveal your information as much as the other party. If you know someone else's full identity, I am more inclined to do the same for you, because your personal information, in my opinion, shows vulnerability. Of course, most of the time crazy stuff doesn't happen where you get a SWAT team on you. 99.9% of the time that just doesn't happen. But I think everybody can agree that having your full name and address out in the internet is usually never a good idea. But I just want to leave you with this. Everything on the internet stays on the internet forever. Anything you send of yourself will be part of the internet, whether that be Roblox chats or YouTube videos. You know how I sound now. This voice isn't AI generated, and usually you can tell. If you thought my voice was AI generated, I don't know what to say. My message is for the people in the first category, the kids. And my advice is to raise your threshold of trust. The internet is not your friend. I've met many great people on the internet, but honestly, if I were to count them and put them into groups, I have met an even greater amount of terrible people. Just people that you would just never see in real life because they're stuck in the internet all day. If I close my YouTube account today, there will still be videos of me on the internet stored in some way. And I made this channel, I made this video, I know what I'm doing, I'm fine with that. But when someone you presumably trust asks for something sensitive, even if it's someone that you've known for years, I always recommend giving yourself 24 hours to think about it. Because once you give something out to the internet, you can never take it back. Do I want to share something with this person I trust on the internet? It's gotta be a hell yes or no thing. If you feel any twinge of doubt, of insincerity about the person, just say no. It's better to be safe than sorry. The reason why I say this is because there's so many cases of friends on the internet that I've known. You know, there are relationships and friendships that span several years that get completely ruined because someone gets backstabbed. You know, they lock their friends out of their account and stuff like that. It happens way more than you would think. Personally, I got burnt a few times and I would never trust anyone with my account, bro. And if you want to be safe yourself, I recommend you do the same too. Yeah, that's all I have to say on this topic. Thank you for watching to the end. I really appreciate you for that. Gonna be trying this new style of content. Here's a new video you can check out, and yeah, I'll see you there.